Uh, Good job, babe. You're literally your whole skeletal system literally replaces itself, your skin replaces itself. So the question I have in business, are you replacing yourself? Or are you the same person you were 6 months ago, a year ago, right? Like that's the question that I think makes a massive difference here. And why you see some people go off like a rocket and some people don't, whether it's production, whether it's building, whatever side that is. Um, because especially in today's society, right, growth is a non-negotiable. Okay. Um, like how you like really ask yourself that. I mean, I really challenge you, like when you leave here, like sit down. Am I the same person I was 6 months ago? Right? Like just ask, like, am I doing the same things I was doing 6 months ago and not getting the same results that I expect to be getting? Or have I made a change? Have I overcome stuff? Am I going through stuff? Um, I think that I think that really matters on how we're trying to grow. Um, Most people aren't willing to embrace discomfort, right? Like as it goes through and like differentiating daily choices. So like like what what does like put it in the chat, you can unmute, I don't care which one. Like what does your life look like if in your sales role, in a building role, if you grow versus you stay the same, come align, right? Like um Christina was talking about that at the end of the builders call today. Like, right? Like what does that look like for you? Like how does that like so like really ask yourself like what is that, I'm asking you, this is participatory, boys and girls. This isn't Trevor come talk to you for an hour. So right? Like what does that look like to you? Right? And what does your life look like in 6 months if you get after it? Right? It would change your life completely. Right? Like if you actually got after it, it's 6 months. 6 months is a blank. Guys, I blinked and I'm 49 years old. I literally blinked and I'm 49. Like, yeah, right? You'd be more comfortable in your day-to-day living because you're growing, right? Like leg day at the gym sucks, but it's the most rewarding at the same time, right? Like because the legs are what feed the wolf. And it's the same in our growing and in our abilities, right? So, right, no more money. Where it's like, where, like, really, where else? Where else can you go find a business that is a literal ATM machine? I literally had a deposit come, guys, last night for $2,000 that I didn't know where it was from. And it was a policy that I had placed that I'd forgot about. Like 2 grand, right? Like, what would 2 grand do if you had a policy right now and you put 2 grand in your pocket? Like, what would that do? Right? Like, what would that do to like look up that? I'm not joking. Like, I had no clue. Like, I was like, what is that? I had to go like reconcile where it came. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot I'd set their payment so far out because they needed to bill with their retirement fund. And I was like, awesome, right? Like, yeah, right. So the ultimate competitive edge you have is growth, right? And it's the growth on yourself to get you to where you want to be next. So like 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 how you're building that as it goes through. And I'm kind of what I'm doing is I'm going to go over the outline and then we're going to go back and do a couple questions. So oh, you finally got that big IUL. Awesome, Steve. Like that's a great win. How much like tell everybody, like be honest with them, show them how much was the commission on that?
So I don't know what the full commission is going to be because they do a little bit differently, but I got my first check of 68.94 the other
Yeah,
day.
you got a check for 7 grand, and they owe him a lot more money. Like I know
Yeah.
how big his IUL was, but right, like they're not going to get too far out of advancing. But right, like what would a $7,000 deposit do for your bank right now? And what kind of lead again was that, Steve? I know what it was, but for
The
everybody
mortgage
listening,
protection lead.
right?
Just,
And,
just a mortgage
and
protection lead, but you just asked a few questions, which I don't always do a good job doing. So I'm sure there's a bunch of other things I've left out on the table, but that one I asked the right questions.
right, like, and again, it took months, but like he's gonna get paid on that like over and over. Same. I got a big IUL that I sold last year that I'm gonna start getting paid every month on it now because they'll only advance you so much money out of it.
Right.
Right. I got right, like same, like I got a bunch of money that like starting next month and not like in October, every month now for the next 6 months is just gonna roll in on me. Right.
Yeah, what it does, right? You're basically starting off profitable every month,
Yeah.
and then some.
Right.
So that's a really good feeling.
For sure. Right. But the question then goes, are you willing to lean into discomfort? We all say we want to be here, but are you really willing to be uncomfortable to get there? Frankly, most people aren't. Most people aren't willing to push through the pain, push through the frustrating days, push through the hard days. Like, guys, I had zero, and I mean zero desire to do my second workout on 75 hard last night. And I'm literally a third of the way through now. Like a third of the way. Like I'm there. Like I got it
You're
now.
farther than
And
most ever get. So congrats, bud.
I just didn't want to do it. Like I didn't. And half of me would have been okay if I said, "Hey, I'm just going to punt tonight. I'm really hurting." And like I just prayed about it. I felt like, okay, I'm just gonna, and I'm glad once I got started working out, right? And what I do, I got that momentum going, right? Once I started going, getting it moving, it felt really good. I took some frustration out on some weights in a rowing machine, and got it there. I actually set a personal best for a row sprint last night too, just because like I needed to like get after it to like clear my mind. But what are you doing in your life every day for you to do that? Right? What's that look like for you? It doesn't matter what it is, but right? Like what does that look like? What are you getting at after the day to go there? Right? And it really comes down to like daily choice architecture and momentum, right? Guys, momentum is just, everything, right? Linda's favorite word, Uncle Momo. Again, you hear me say this all the time. Go walk a mile, and every time you take a step, stop. And then just go walk a mile and tell me which was easier and which took longer and which was easier to do. It's not even close. You take a step and stop, take a step and stop. It's going to take you 30, 40 minutes to walk a mile. You can walk a mile in 10 to 15 minutes, just depending upon what kind of pace you're looking at. Right? So, like, you can walk a mile that quick. But how's that look in your business? Are you taking that step forward every day? Are you building that momentum every day? Right? Jess can tell you, right? Jess is competitively like worked out, right? Like to where she was going to stand on stage, rip to shreds and do that, right? And how much harder is it to like get going after you've like taken a couple weeks off and you've recovered and you're like, oh, okay, I got to get started again. It's that same way there. Yeah, look, I don't necessarily love posting on social media either, this, but I got to do it. Like Mel and I, and it's Mel really doing the heavy lifting there, thankfully. But that's it's tough, right? So and I have a different reason on why I don't love it, guys. You gotta remember our old business. I personally posted. I'm not exaggerating every day for 7 years. That's how I got that business to millions and millions of dollars a year. Right. Ask June and S about how they watched us blow that thing up. And then every day and every day and every day and every day and fed the machine. Frankly, it burnt me out a little bit. Um, so, but like, what does that daily architecture look like? Right. And then we're going to talk about what struck you the most, what's going to grow and where you're stuck. Okay. So, like, as we go through, where in your sales process are you currently standing instead of growing? Like, where are some spots you're stuck? Is it activity? Is it follow up? Is it setting a calendar properly to have that time? Right? It is like that's just life, Steve, right? It doesn't matter what you're doing, right? So where in your sales process are you stuck? Are you stuck at the beginning and you're not willing to put the dials in? Are you stuck in, man, I need to follow up with those leads better, right? Reset, right? And organization. Everybody's at different points. You got to get past that point, right? Just like if you go to the gym every day, I don't care how weak or how strong you are, if you continue to lift weights, you'll get stronger, right? Like Cam, for example, I promise when Cam started doing what he was doing, he couldn't go do the tips and tricks and different stuff he did from a technical standpoint that he can do now, right? Why does he have that? Because he's done it thousands of times, right? Would you say that, Cam? Oh, hold on. Oh, hold on. It's taped shut. Hold on. I mean,
Still outside.
what?
They're just outside.
Yeah. Yeah. All good. Hold on. Oh, oh, sorry. Yeah, there you go. Now it's unlocked. Hold on. There should be a key. Like when I pull, there should be a key. It's got to be this top one. Like it's not there. Oh, there it went. All right. That top corner. This one? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yep.
I'm gonna mute him for a little bit. It's just the RV door. It's not anything spectacular.
What happened to it?
Although it was rippling, like it was kind of cracking. So
Trev, you're muted. Mel, put the mute button on you.
Don't ask her technical stuff with that. The whole inside of the door was cracking and falling apart. The manufacturer is such a defect, sent us a brand new door. The only part that sucks is we got to pay for the I have to pay for the installation, but whatever. I could have done it myself. I ain't got time. It was just like get to that point too, where you can pay someone to come do this stuff for you. It's way better, right? Like I could have done this myself and said, hey, I'm not going to do training. I'm not going to go to Be a Better Builder call today, right? No, he's totally chilling, just watching him. He's loving it. He's enamored. Major's totally enamored with what he's doing. So no, poor Major. Major's loving it. What's that? I don't have the keys for it. Had to have been in the box. Because I'm gonna swap it out to that other lock anyways. Hold on. All right. You want me to unlock it?
yeah.
Oh, of course they did.
Put a one in the chat if you are currently posting every day on social media. Oh, I love the Easter egg, Diana. Wait until
Can't put a one in the chat. I can't type and drive,
Okay, well,
but I'm not putting everything in social media.
Cool.
Right. So now we're at like we're 2 weeks left in the month. What skill, if you sharpened it this month, would make the biggest difference in your results? Is it just commitment? Is it just drive? Right. And it ties in with here's what I really want you to like ask yourself right now. What is the limiting belief you catch yourself repeating when a sale doesn't close? Right? When an appointment no shows. Right? What's that limiting belief you catch yourself repeating when a sale doesn't close? What is it? You shut down. Why do you shut down, Sarah? I think a lot of people feel that way. I think they take it personally and they decide it's because they did something wrong instead of it's just not the right time and right, the client doesn't see the value in it. Yeah, right. Like, but why do you feel like a failure? Right. but it's not, you did do your job. That's not your job to have them do it. Your job is to show them the opportunity to change, to make sure their family's protected. That's your job. Your job isn't to buy it for them. Okay. And that goes for everybody on this call. Right.
I think what happens, Trevor, right? Because we know, especially when you're digging on their why a little bit, right, and understand their situation. Most of our clients, for some, it is a luxury, right? They have other things, and
Yep.
they'll probably going to be okay. But for a lot of our clients, not so much. And then we hear, we've all have stories or know people who have told stories that, of they didn't get protection and then, or they didn't reach them. And then we make a phone call and that person passed away. So you kind of feel like yes, we can't convince them, right? We've done our job. I let them know what they would qualify for but there is a natural kind of hurt, right? When you can't, get them to cross the finish line.
Yeah. And I can understand that, but I just have to say, right, like, you need to be able to walk away and say, I did everything I could to give
Right.
them those options. That's where you got to have the clean conscience, right? Like,
True.
hey, did I show them who they are? Because, right. So it ties into this. So what systems do you have in place to make your recruiting and your producing predictable rather than accidental? Because I think most people are accidentally producing here. Right? If I asked you right now, if I said, I literally like went into my wallet and said, hey, here's a bunch of cash, right? I will give you this cash right now. If you can right now in chat, write down all your predictable things you do that's a start to finish system to get you better in sales. Could any of you do it? Could any of you do it from start to end? Or are you trying to like do parts of it and the rest is just accidentally falling into it? Which is it? I would bet large sums of money it's the latter. Even though you have all the resources in front of you to make it predictable. Can we agree? We all have the resources to make it predictable.
Without a doubt.
Yes?
And we talk about it on right? I mean, that's the 4 keys, right? Like this is right laid out for you. Do we always follow it consistently? No.
What do you think the top producers in this company do?
They invest in their business on a
And
regular basis.
they follow it consistently. Just like
Yep.
going to the gym.
And a schedule.
Yep. It's the predictability, right? I don't have to predict how much money I'm going to make. I know if I spend X amount of leads, I'm going to make X. I know if I set X amount of time in my calendar to produce personally, I'm going to make X, right? Do you know those numbers? You better figure it out.
15 to 20 apps a week minimum.
What's that?
I think it was like 15 to 20 apps a week or like appointments a week in order to get anywhere.
Right. But how do you put a system in place that is predictable to get you to that number? What does that system look like from when you wake up to when you go to bed? That's what you need to have mapped out. And how do you do that? So you reverse engineer that. Okay. Right. I don't care how many dials someone makes, right? The dials don't actually matter as long as you're producing the results you want. Hey, my goal is 5K this month. Hey, my goal is 15 appointments this week. Are you just dialing until you get that? Or are you accidentally trying to land there? Like, ask yourself that, right? It's the same thing with going to the gym, right? Lissy loves going to the gym. Okay. Like she works out, like she loves it, right? Like follow her on social media. Lissy's consistent in it. She goes, right? But if you didn't have a system of what you were going to do and you just went into the gym, right? Would you get the results you wanted? Or when you go to work out, do you know, like, hey, I want to squat this much. I want to weigh this much. I want to do that versus I just need to work out to feel better. Who's going to be more successful there?
Well, it's funny you ask because I was in a set and this person walks up to me. I'm like, what does this person want? And I look up and it's my mom. And I'm like, oh, because I inspired her to get into the gym and weightlift. And I'm like, what are you doing today? And she's like, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I'm like, I literally subscribe to a program so you and I can both follow it. He is a PhD. He knows what he's doing. I follow who knows what they're doing. So programs are there for a reason. You can't just go squat here and do a bicep curl there. You got to follow the program. And she's like, okay. And then I'm like, am I listening to myself right now with my business? So yeah.
Right. So that applies across. What do you got, Steph?
Well, and in correlation to what you and Lizzie were saying, when you go to the gym, first of all, you know your body. So you know what you need to work on to perfect that particular area. Like me getting back, I'm trying to get rid of the midsection. So I know I need to do A, B, C, and D. So my weakness is where I need to focus on to achieve the goal I need to achieve to look the way I want to look. So the same thing within here, for us to get to what you're saying, the end result, we have to look at our weakness, constant action, constant correction. We then have to go in and adjust where our weakness is to get the end result that we need.
Right. So example, and Jess brought it up, right?
Mhm.
For you. So example, can Jess squat the same amount of weight I can squat? No. Right. So if she goes in and says, hey, I want to max at 400 pounds, she's going to kill herself. The bar's going to fall on her. Right. Like the same as in business, right? Like, what are you doing to grow? Right. Right. If my big ass tried to go jump off a bridge right now, like Cam, it would probably not go as well. Right. If I tried to pack my own chute, I don't know how to pack a chute. I don't know what I'm doing. Right. And I'm fundamentally opposed to like not landing correctly. Right. But right, like, but Cam is unconsciously competent there because he's done it so many times, right? Because that's what works for him. So what, right? Like you have to also do that for you, growing, right, and adapting versus there. Okay. So what are some things to do? So this is like my question of the day. Okay. And I'm gonna get there, right? We can all agree when I like, right? I'm actually kind of funny. I got a little smart aleck in me. I can make you chuckle. Like I'm pretty good at like getting people to like laugh and cheer up. Okay. How many of you show your real personality when you talk to clients? Come on. How many of you show your real, I mean, your core, who you really are? If you don't do that every single time, you won't connect as well. It's one of the reasons Scott says it all the time. He's like, dude, you're just so good at connecting. I go, because I'm just me. I'm just authentically me trying to grow on there. Right. So, right. So do you know how to make a client smile while still being professional? Right. So here's one, it depending upon the age I'm talking to. So with my older people, right? That are, 50s, 60s, 70s, right? When they say, everybody, oh, hey, how are you? How are you? Blah, blah. You guys know how I feel about that generic one. Okay. So I make the joke, especially if I know it's a couple. I say, well, hey, guess what? It's only 10:30 and I ain't got in trouble with the wife yet today. It's just funny. It makes them laugh. Okay, what they do? One, I told them I'm married, right? And then I'm like, us boys, we do, I feel it out, right? Like I'll make a self-deprecating joke about me to like disarm me in that conversation, right? Like how, how it goes through. Okay. Like what it goes there. So what's one way you could make a client smile while still being professional? What's something you could do?
I always, when they tell me like the older clients how old they are, I'll like, whoa, you do not sound 67. They love that. And they're like, oh, and they like chuckle and they're like, oh, honey, I am. Or like, oh, and I don't look it. I don't know. That's just one of, and only if it's true though, but yeah, they like that.
And I'll say something similar. I'll be like, oh, you don't sound 72. And I bet you don't look it at all. right? Like, who doesn't want to hear that at 72? Everybody, I want to hear that at 49, right? Like who doesn't want to hear that, right? Like that, it's so good, Jess. Like, that's such a good thing to say. So when you make a sale and you help a family, how much is it because of how much you knew versus how much you connected with them? Which is it?
I think it's all about the connection.
How much I connected with them.
It's always connected, always, every single time, 100%. Okay. Now, if you can also show them as the nuts and the sprinkle and the cherry on top that you're really good at underwriting, that helps, right? Like a gentleman I just helped, he literally, Mel and I were sitting in the parking lot, and he was like, I was the first guy that told him, he he was in his early 60s. He was on, quote, water pills. Okay. The second you hear water pills mean they have a heart issue. They probably have CHF, right? If not, it's on their way. And they have water pills because their heart isn't working correctly and it can't get the fluid, or their kidneys aren't working correctly to get the fluid out of their body. Okay. He had been talking to these other people that are pitching him IULs without finding out anything about them. I literally say, I'll pay for your IUL if you can get qualified for it. I'll pay for it. Because know what I know? I know he can't. And by the time I got done, he's like, you're the first guy I've talked to that was like straight up with me. Right. So, but what I do, I built a connection, right? Like, it's that connection every time. So how does being authentic help you overcome objections?
Can I
It
answer?
makes them more comfortable, but it also, with you being authentic, you're disarming the fact that any rebuttal that they can give back to you, you're being relatable to them.
100%. Yep. Less pressure, trust, relatable. Yep. Disarmament, all of the same, right? So when you call and you start talking to someone, do you think you sound like you, or do you think you sound scripted?
Like myself.
Right? Are you like, hey, Katie, what's up, girl? How you doing? Like, do you call client? You know what I mean? Like, are you authentically being you there? Okay. So like walk through and same Cam, right? Like, so there's the question, right? You got to transition from, have you made enough calls yet to get past the scripted part, right? Have you made the dials to get you through to where you really want to be, right? Tonality is everything, right? I've done multiple teachings on it. There's multiple videos on it. Tone and pace matter. Talk slower. Don't let your voice get high. Just talk to them like you're talking, like literally you're sitting somewhere, like having a conversation with a friend. The more you do that, the better it will go. Okay. So how are some agents so bold? See, so there's the issue right there, Em. Right? You first stop worrying about making them mad. Two, right? That's not there. Be you. You're never going to make them mad. But two, connection versus like, if you build the connection, the objections will start going away, right? You have to like start building that connection. And it's not just, hey, I tried to dig deep. Did you try to dig deep because you just want to make a sale, or do you generally want to get to know them? You got to like learn to love to get to know them, right? Like, you don't know who it's going to be. You got, some of you have heard me tell the story. In our old business, a guy that one of the smallest jobs I ever did literally gave me millions of dollars of work over the years because I connected with him, and it ended up being all his friends were filthy rich. And we did all of their yards and all of their designs. And we did schools and commercial work because I treated the guy doing a tiny job the same as different, but we just connected. Like, you got to stop making it where you're not connecting. That's what's going to make the difference. So how do we do this? We have to get uncomfortable and lead into discomfort. Oh, right? Camera's off, right? A lot of people don't come on camera because they're not comfortable, right? They have an excuse, right? They're not willing to lean into that. So what is one sales activity you could do more of, but avoid because it feels uncomfortable?
I mean, I think you laid one out, right? You could do the dial teams off mute with your camera on.
Yep.
That's one. You could send recordings of your dials. You can send recordings of your appointments. You can ask for
So what
help.
else? What's one activity you do but you avoid because it feels uncomfortable? What are you guys avoiding?
I know at first I was avoiding double dialing because I felt like I was bothering them. But then I realized after speaking to you and then getting coached by Scott and that, sometimes some people have like their do not disturb and you have to call twice. Sometimes you even have to call 3 times. And what I do now is like if I know that they're not answering, but they're hanging up on me and I don't want to send them a text or I know they're not going to listen to their voicemail, as like unprofessional as I used to thought it would seem, I like will record myself and tell them why I'm calling. And again, I always tell them like, hey, I'm just calling to get to know you. You obviously were interested in something. So let's just break that down. What got you interested? And then sometimes they'll call me back. Sometimes they won't, but I've seen that getting out of my comfort zone with that has really helped communicate with clients. Another thing was like following up if they no showed, I would just leave it. And now I'm like, I'm gonna rebook, but later on tomorrow, I'm gonna call them back to book them again.
I love that, right? Like it's that. But yes, if you have D&D on your phone, right, you have to double dial to get through to them, right? There's a reason we say to triple dial bonus leads because again, telemarketer can't dial them, right? So how do you react when you feel resistance or fear during your day? Like what do you do? Like what do you do to get past that?
It
Yeah, just send them a voice
it
message.
kind of goes back to personal development. If you're doing your personal development, I feel like getting through the hard times is really what, I mean, I could be wrong, but that's basically how I see it. Like me actually diving back into my personal development, doing it every day, has not only made me feel more confident, but it has also helped in the times where things aren't going well because you're learning from the situation and you're applying it and you're moving forward.
Yeah. So like, right. So on the other side, where has when you've pushed through that discomfort, when's it led to a big breakthrough?
After I'm putting in the work, I'm putting in the activity.
Be specific.
What type of breakthrough are you talking about?
Either one. I don't care if it's personal or professional. Like where has in your life discomfort, right? That led you to a big, to a big sales or to life, like where's it good?
Mm, I mean, for me personally, like being completely transparent, like after I had a really long talk yesterday with an agent, and it really made me realize that this whole time after I broke my leg and I, kind of worked behind the scenes but wasn't producing was I didn't feel like I was working for myself. I felt like I was working for someone else and not for myself. And I forgot the mindset that this is my business and that I can choose when, where, how, and why to build it and do what I want. And I forgot that. I completely let that go away. So I haven't been in the right mindset. And after I had that conversation yesterday, I was like, I'm doing my personal development. I'm keeping track of my numbers, but I didn't feel like I was doing it for me. And so now that I know I'm doing it for me and having that business mindset and knowing that this is my business, that it's made the hard times that I thought were hard the last couple of months and has really kind of changed my perspective.
Okay. So can I pick on you for a sec
Yeah.
on like the personal growth side? So, right, you'd reach out to me and ask me about like messaging Jamie Susie, right? And you
Mhm.
send her a message about a book recommendation, right? Do you
Yeah.
think
But
you
yeah, okay.
right? Do you think you have put the work in on yourself to be in the same rooms in business as Jamie?
No,
Okay, so why do you expect her to answer?
right? It's a good point.
I mean that for everyone, right? What have you done to get into the rooms that you want to be in? Right? Think about that. Right? Like, what are you doing to work on yourself to get yourself in the position to get in the rooms you want to be in? I want to be in those rooms, right? I've worked my butt off on it. I am a different human today than I was this time last year. This time last year, we we're actually at conference, right? But right, have you done that? Right? Like, I want to be in the room with Brad Smith. I want to be in the room with Brian Delaney. I want to be in the room with Ed Pritchett. I haven't earned being in that room yet. I haven't. They'll talk to me. I have all their numbers now, right? Like, because they want this place to be huge and they want leaders to grow, but I haven't earned that right yet, right? I haven't earned that time. I got to keep building myself to get there, right? So what are you doing from that, right? So for me, the discomfort of, hey, I got to like start all over. Mel and I have to completely rebuild this. We got to rebuild a team. We got to like all this different stuff we had to do. We had a big breakthrough now. We own our agency, right? Like, that's my example of why it was worth it. So, right? So we can agree then discomfort is the price of growth, right? Whether physical, spiritual, mental, right? Can we all agree on that? Right? That discomfort's the price of growth? Yes. Right? So if that's the price, what bill are you avoiding paying? Right? What's the bill in your life right now you're not paying to get you through that? Right? Is it the schedule? Is it personal development? Is it, right? I can name 5,000 things, right? What's the bill you've been avoiding paying? Right? So everybody has them, right? Like, on that side of it. So, right, sticking to my schedule. That's a lot of people, right? Like, just learning how to be disciplined to stick to that. So what if you started leaning into discomfort every day instead of a couple times a month? What would your life look like if you leaned into discomfort daily versus even once a week? What would your life look like 90 days from now? What would your life look like come Christmas time? 100%, Jess. This is such a good book. So, right? So, do you know how many people message me and tell me they're going to message me and stay accountable to me? Lots. Oh, what you need? Oh, yeah. Go get the big guy. Oh, yeah. Just go. Just gotta go get Major. So he's just chilling, but he's in the way now. Right? You'd be AO. There you go. Right? So, right? Are you willing to be uncomfortable every day? Right? I have to get up, right? We decided we wanted to come Pacific time earlier because I have to get up at 4 o'clock every day to get done what I need to get done in my morning now. 4 a.m. It's just what I have to do. Our company is East Coast bias, right? So I got to get down to that side every day. So what's the choice daily you're making that's screwing up your momentum? What's that one choice? Like, name it down to one right now you can fix. What's the choice daily screwing up your momentum? Lack of commitment, not dialing when I schedule dialing, right? Not sticking to my schedule. I think that's going to be probably a pretty big theme. What would your life look like 30 days from now if you just did it for the next month? What would your life look like 30 days from now if you just did it for a month? Don't worry about 6 months, a year, just the next 30 days. What would it look like if you did that? So why aren't we doing it? Why aren't we doing it? Right? So who can you partner with that's going to actually hold you accountable? Not your friend that's not going to hold you accountable. Who can you partner with that's actually going to hold your hand to the fire? Right? So who's going to hold you accountable there? Yep. It's all about our 70-30, right? I do the 30% I'm not great at first thing in the morning because I want to be in my 70% throughout the day. This is where I'm stronger, right? I'm good at coaching, teaching, helping develop. Like, this is my strength. I try to knock out all the operational crap I hate first thing in the morning. Yeah. Like, not my thing. I would never be a COO. Like, not my thing. But I know that. I know that's not in my wheelhouse. I know what I want, but I don't want to do it. So I force myself to do it, right? First thing in the morning. Okay. So when results don't show up immediately, what do you tell yourself? When you don't get that instant result that you want, because all of a sudden you've decided you should have this ridiculous result that like you haven't earned or got to yet. Okay. Like, what do you tell yourself? When it's like, oh, I made 40 dials, I should have had 10 appointments. I don't. What do you tell yourself? Or, hey, that agent should have onboarded, but they didn't. Like, what do you tell yourself? Right?
We
And
can
think
only
atomic
control
habit
what we can.
styles.
I keep
Go ahead.
going. I keep
Yeah.
going.
Say
Keep
that again,
going.
Diana.
That momentum. I keep going.
What do you got, Diana?
We can only control what we can control. Everything else is out of our league. But if we're doing what we can control, then we'll see persistency and growth within that.
Have you engineered your environment to do that? And I'm not talking to one person, I'm talking to everybody, right? But you can answer, Diana, if you want.
Oh no, I was listening. Sorry, I kept it unmuted.
Yeah, that's good, right? Like, have you done that? Right? Have you engineered your environment to do that? Okay. So as we finish, I want you guys to think about this. I want you to write these things down. I don't care how you write them down. What's the single most powerful insight you took away from today? Okay. What is the one thing you're going to pick today to commit to growth, whether personal or professional? What's the one thing you're going to do? And if you're brave, you'll share it. You'll put it out in public and say, hey, like, this is what I'm doing. All right. How will you know you've actually changed a habit versus just trying harder? What's your base you're measuring against versus what the result is, right? And like, in turn, how do you think clients will feel if you start applying this?
Trevor, can you rephrase like the third one when you said, how will you know that you've actually changed the habit versus,
Just trying harder,
okay.
right? I can try all I want to go throw a football 90 yards. It is not physically possible for me to do that. Okay. Right. So I can try all I want. Right. But what's the habit I could change to help me get closer? I could go to the gym every day. I could do cardio every day. I could read and watch how to get better at throwing a football. I'm just making something up. Right. So think about that from a business standpoint. Right. How do you know you've actually changed a habit versus trying harder? Go back and assess, right? Like, I can go back and read in my journal where I was at the beginning of the year, right? Like, what was I doing then that I'm having to do now? Very different things, right? That's how I do it, right? And the habits I'm doing today, right? It's there. So next is, how are your clients feel and experience differently if you apply all of this? Okay. And then the last one, right? What are we committing to? And what is our life going to look like in the next 30, 60, 90 days? right? Like, and then go tell somebody about it. Don't be a chicken. Right? We say we want this, but are you willing to commit to staying there? Like I said, hey, I have to make a physical change in my body. I committed it. I'm doing it with others. I'm publicly talking about it. And of course, we all do. Just that is 1,000,000% of 1,000,000% of humans on Earth. That's just how, like, right? Because that's how our bodies work, right? I eat pretty clean already, right? I just, again, I fractured my knee and broke my arm really bad, back to back, right? And I had real reasons, guys. I'm not joking when I said I did PT 5 days a week for a year. I couldn't turn the key in my truck for 6 months to start my truck. That truck didn't have a push start. Like I literally had to reach over with this hand, turn over and start it. Like my physical therapy was so bad, I would literally go to the bar next door and just go take a shot before I went in to help numb the pain. I wasn't drinking to drink. I was just in that much like pain from them trying to rehab my arm. Right. So, right. Like, what are you doing there? So again, your physical side is going to drive that. Right. Like, and then how do you put that discipline in? And go ask yourself that. Right. So, whatever that is. And don't be scared to share it. Like, you're scared to share it because then you're going to be held accountable. Right. Because then you're like, oh, I got to do it now. Like, burn the boat, man. Like, it's worth it. Like again, like I'm not, we're in a position now, like, great, right? I got to pay this guy. I don't love it. Like, I'm just, cause I wish I didn't have to spend the money, but right. Like, I'm not stressed. Like, hey, right? How am I going to pay this guy today? Right. That's doing the, putting the door in for us. I'm not like, where's our bills coming from? Like, I'm not, I've been there, guys. Like, it sucks. Right. Like that feeling sucks. Right. Literally, right? It was a year ago yesterday. I didn't have the money to check into the hotel. So, like, I remember it vividly. But I got after it. Mel got after it. And, right. And now we here are 12 months later. Right. Like, and same, right? Like, who you want to be and who you want to be around, it's there. And then last thing you can do to do it, find people and just like, hey, I heard you talk about this. I appreciate it. Right. Like, one of the things I do, and I've done it forever, whoever speaks on the accountability call, I send them a message about what it helped me with that day. And I don't do it for them, even though it helps them. I do it for me. Because selfishly, it's reminding me, what did I learn that day? And what did I get out of it to help me grow? Right. Like, I do that. Like, how many of you like send off like, hey, I really appreciate like what you talked about on that call. I really got something out of it. Or how do you think it in your head, but you never send it. I mean, I'm guilty of doing that, right? I'm guilty of, man, I meant to set that and I turn around and then I didn't. And you're like, and then you move on. We live in some wild times, man. Like, wild. It has been a wild 30 days in this country. And I implore you to make sure that, you are where you want to be with who you want to be, because we just don't know. Right. And it's worth it, right? Like, I want to be in a position to do what I want, when I want, whenever I want. And I said, literally, I was talking to Jamie the other day and she was like, yeah, she was telling me, like, actually, it was yesterday during the national call. Her and I, like, she texts me a lot during the national call. That she texts everybody by that. It's not just me, but like, I asked her, I'm like, do you ever get tired of kicking everyone's butt? She's like, never. She's like, right? Like, it's there. And she goes, because I can go do what I want when I want, because I've just helped more people than everyone else. She's like, I'm not the best producer, right? She's like, I'm actually not the best builder. She's like, I'm just really good. And Corey's really good at helping more people than everybody else. And now if they want to go do something, they just go do it. Right? Like, that's why we're all here. That is why everybody is on that call. Yeah, 100%. Sarah and Jared, absolutely. Like, they're building their dream backyard right now. Like, I'm literally helping them like design it. So like, it's amazing, right? Like, they're just like have all this cool stuff. my things are doing, right? Like, I don't really offer that to a lot of people, but it's Sarah, right, who is literally like one of my main mentors. So, right, like, you know, I'm not going to do that, but like, get yourself in a position to be able to do that, right? Ask yourself, what am I doing to get there? Go tell people about this opportunity. Go share it, right? Because now you can go do what you want when you want. I gotta leave here and go drive to an hour to Costco, and I gotta go buy a new laptop, right? I can do it, thankfully. I'm annoyed because I don't want to have to spend $2,000 today, but that's what I need to do. So you can come in. Is it unlocked? Hey, can you get him? So cool. All right. Well, I actually need to go jump off and handle this. I think he's finishing up. So I appreciate all of you. I love all of you. I care about all of you. If I can help any of you in any way at any time, just reach out to me. And I love all of you. All right.
Love you too. Thanks, buddy.
All right. Appreciate y'all. Talk to you soon. Bye.